What up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? I am One Nut Wonder, and tonight going to be doing a duo cast with this individual, DreamlessX. Both him and me are going to be casting a tournament on the 14th. Actually, son of a gun, every time this always happens. On the 14th, Saturday, a couple days out, and we're just going to be going into a game and kind of running some trials here and see how it all goes. So, Dreamless, if you'd like to say hello. Or
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I had your stream on actually, and I was hearing a double echo.
oh, well then.
All right, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? So I am right here in the loading screen. I don't know if you're with me,
I'm
Zella.
trying. I'm trying.
All right, whenever you're ready, let's take a
Uh-oh.
look.
Do you have headphones?
I do have headphones. Yes.
Are they on?
Yes, they are on.
I hear an echo.
It could possibly be your stream.
Hmm. Could it? Oh,
Right,
that is truth.
because you might have your stream in another window. That happened to me just like 5 seconds ago.
Touche, sir.
Alrighty.
I'm still waiting to get on, so
All right, let me
I.
know when you are in the spectator screen.
Oh, it's just a waiting game. Thanks, League. All 3 minutes. Because I have to wait until you're in game. But here we go. Loading in now.
All right, cool. Luckily, since this is, I believe, a solo queue game, we get to see all of the nice and pretty borders. No need for a wall nexus.
Does everyone have a border?
I would believe so. Yes, we have a challenger bordered silver, bunch of diamonds, versus a bunch of diamonds and plats.
Okay. This will be the first time that I've seen the Challenger border, other
It
than
is, it is pretty nice.
that's definitely sweet. It's better than some people like the gold border as opposed to the platinum, which I just giggle at. I think that the diamond and now the challenger definitely look the best here.
Definitely the gems. Although the challenger border isn't really a gem. It's just more like a blue pebble.
A blue pet. What if we just called it a sapphire? How about that?
Yeah, it is a sapphire. All right, let's look at the matchups. I would like to start with the jungle matchups because we have an Amumu who's a Plat Mumu versus a Diamond Vi. See, the problem with the Mumu is that he doesn't really offer that much in terms of early game pressure. His damage output is very, very low.
True.
Um, he basically has to just run around you in his W and his E, get his auto attacks off with red buff to do any sort of significant damage. And you
Absolutely.
have a Vi who has a ton of burst between the Q and the W and the E.
Absolutely. And that true
And
damage proc. Oh,
exactly, exactly. And also you have a Jarvan who is really, really, really strong in the top lane, at least in the early levels. So I kind of want to see how this plays out for Gangplank versus Jarvan because we know that Mummy's going to be locked into jungling until at least level 3 or 4. And Vi kind of has free reign in the early levels, so that most of the lanes will get the pressure from Vi. And if lanes can survive until 6 for until when Mummy becomes actually really, really strong, then we might see a little bit more balance. But I would say the early game definitely goes to Vi's team.
I would agree. And the mid game though, when you have just a Mumu and Annie, like that mid lane or even bot lane
Yes,
where the Annie's gonna go is gonna be so scary because they're gonna have so much CC. If Annie lays it down, the Tibber stun could catch both of them into the Amumu. Like Curse the Sad Mummy is, they're stuck there, and Sivir gets free
exactly.
reign.
Exactly. So Annie support's actually very popular at the start of season 4. I mean, after all, it's not technically season 4, but we're pretty much playing on the season 4 patch.
We might as well be. I mean, there's gonna be a few things that are gonna change, but nothing major.
Right, so Annie's actually picked up popularity because with the season 4 changes, supports actually get a lot of gold. And an Annie support that's just running Sightstone boots, rocking some wards, kind of scary, but not as scary as an Annie support that randomly gets a Rabadons because she just has the gold.
True. And that's the craziest thing. Supports in Season 4 are going to have so much money, where I've seen early Sunfire Capes, early Randuins come out of
Yeah.
Leona supports, and they just blow you up. You're like, you're just a full tank.
These matches are actually very, very hard for the ADC because you used to be looking at 2, maybe 3 damage threats depending on how the jungler built. But now you're looking at 3 damage threats, a solid 3. The jungle plus the support definitely do more damage than a carry jungler.
True.
Especially in Annie with a death cap, 20 minutes in, she's still gonna drop you to 25% health with the ignite.
Yeah, and then the team's just going to clean you up.
Exactly. So
Now,
I kind of want to see this very aggressive bot lane. You have a challenger Sivir plus an Annie support versus a Vayne who's got to play a little passive, and she has no barrier compared to the Sivir, so she can't really out trade as easily.
true, but I think it was a awesome pickup for that Vayne to get
Yeah,
cleanse as opposed to the typical barrier that you see run on
right.
almost every AD carry.
Because she's definitely going to need both the cleanse and the QSS if she wants any chance of surviving a Mumu positioning and also Annie positioning and Syndra as well.
True. Now, if you look right at the beginning, Purple Team did take the Samumu's red buff or blue buff, and he has no idea. So he's going to be going there, and he's already going to be behind. Where Vi is going to have her red buff, and she's going to have her blue buff both available.
Hold on,
So
let me swap over to directed camera. I think it's on manual. There we go. All right, we're looking at bot lane. Bot lane's doing pretty well right now, actually. The Vayne is pushing to their tower, which is one way for her to get some CS. Vi is top lane. Jarvan evidently has not connected. That's a little awkward.
yeah, so that's why Vi had this little strategy of taking blue and then going top lane. Now she's going to go take red, and then she's going to go top lane. But already in bot lane, we see that Soraka is going to be forced to flash along with heal. Now it's just Vayne as Annie sits there with the stun. He's looking to maybe go back on Vayne as she is way out of position, running away now. Ping is coming down for a Moon with a boomerang coming out, hitting Vayne, doing so much damage, but she is going to be able to get away as Soraka comes back into lane with only a quarter HP. One Annie stun, and it's going to be over for this bot lane. Someone's dying.
And if you look, Annie has flash, so bot lane needs to be very, very, very terrified. Soraka has the time to kind of sustain Vayne and herself back up, but it's going to take quite a while. If you look at the summoners, her heal is blown. And
Yep.
Vi is just sitting top, trying to make the best of a bad situation. She has double buffs, though, but she's unable to kill Gangplank due to the fact that he has an Ignite on her. And she's just going to slowly get HP starved as the GP gets mana starved.
True, and I mean, one benefit though is not only does Vi have the jungle, but she also has this lane, and Gangplank continuously pushes it as opposed to letting it get to his turret and then freezing it and having it all die to turret and letting basically the Vi not benefit from it.
If you look at the CS counts, we're looking at 21 to 23 for the mid lane. It's very even. 20 to 22 in the top lane, and technically Amumu has his own lane at 17. So all lanes are doing very, very well. 21 to 20 in the bot lane. We haven't seen First Blood yet, but I feel like if it's going to happen, it's going to happen bot lane.
True, and especially if this Amumu shows up, like, they don't have to worry about Vi ever coming bottom, but already Annie is going to get examined into the wall. One more auto attack. That is First Blood onto Vayne, picking it up with a beautiful condemn on Annie. Though she had the stun, she didn't use it, and paid with her life. Oh, would take it so low with that Sivir auto attack.
Wow. They definitely have to relieve some pressure on the bot lane. I mean, there's no way in hell that both of them can defend that. If Sivir decides to go and go aggressive on Vayne, one Boomerang Blade, and that's just lights out for one of the two.
True, except she doesn't have the mana for it, so there's not really much to worry about. Oh, and there's Vayne. Oh, trying to commit onto the Sivir. Beautiful spell shield.
Beautiful spell shield.
Save her life there.
Here we have Vi sneaking up into the bot lane, getting ready for a gank. Top lane, unfortunately, is undefended as Jarvan has not yet connected still.
Yeah, I don't know what Jarvan's problem is. Maybe he didn't decide to come up to this game. Oh, there we go. And already the commitment onto the Sivir. Barrier's going to be blown. Annie coming in, though, with a beautiful stun, and they're instantly going to kill onto this Soraka as Vayne plays chase. Now flashes onto Sivir. One more auto attack. That is going to be a kill as Annie's forced to run away. Oh, Mumu from the river. Is he going to make a play? Oh, the stun with minions are going to kill. Mumu's looking for the stun onto the Vayne here. Is she going to be able to tumble away? Oh, the Gangplank ultimate! The cleanse, though, not going to be enough. Though they did dive, Gangplank picks up the kill with his cannon barrage. Beautiful play, though, in bot lane. Beautiful.
A 2-for-1 at the end of it. A lot of action. A lot of action.
I mean...
And now Jarvan's walking back to the top lane.
Jarvan's going in level 1 to a level 7 Gangplank by the time he gets there. He's going to need to hug whatever is left on that top turret.
Fortunately, if you look at Gangplank's build, he built Tyr and Doran's shield, which makes him not a very strong duelist. He's got the sustain, he's got the mana, he can poke you down, but if Vi comes top, gives him a little attention, I feel like Vi and Jarvan, when Jarvan hits level 2, can definitely put this GP in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. Between the CC and Gangplank is going to be able to cleanse only one skill, so Cataclysm at 6, they'll be set. They could kill him no problem, but Vayne putting so much damage onto the Sivir as a trade, and this is what you have to do with Vayne. You have to go in there and get those 3 auto attacks, and then you never lose. It's impossible.
Right. And if you notice, Vayne does this all while the support's still walking to lane. And which means that there's really no counterplay to that.
Oh, but here's Vi coming in to make an engagement on the bottom. Though Vi did get stunned. She's maybe looking to try to have something happen. No, he's just going to walk away here as Annie does ward that tri-bush.
And there's still
but there's an engage. Annie already going to use Ignite down onto the Soraka. Heal coming out. Both the summoner spell and her heal onto itself. Vayne sitting back like, hey, sorry, I missed the fight there. And Soraka is just going to be able to heal herself up like nothing happened as Gangplank laughs at the Jarvan, being a good sport and not fighting him at all, just farming it out. That's what I like to see, but Mumu's making a play top, and Gangplank, I guess, tells him, no, don't do it. That's a scumbag move. That is not something you see often. Most of the time, it's, oh, hey, they're behind, let's keep them behind. But Gangplank playing nice.
They're definitely going to back off bottom, and you can see a Mumu immediately runs to the Wraiths. Puts the ward down, decides not
but there's the engage out of the Soraka. Oh, and does die from the boomerang. So much damage. And that's all it takes with this support Annie. So much comes out in just an instant as Vi does lock up Sivir. Is she going to be able to go and get her as Vayne 1v1s the Annie so low? Tibbers, though.
Tibbers, bro.
Oh, the auto attack. That bear. Is it going to pick up a double kill? Oh, man. That bear's trolling so hard as Sivir picks up the auto attack kill, and both Amumu and Syndra were rotating down in case anything did go south. Fantastic play, though. Both times this Annie and Sivir have just capitalized on a situation that nothing was there, and all of a sudden, boom, flash comes out, something happens.
Blue team immediately goes for the dragon, and that ups their gold lead to a significant 4K. They're quite a bit ahead.
Oh, absolutely.
And granted, a lot of the lead is in the top lane, but if you take a look at the gold counts, let me just tab on right over to the gold counts. You're looking at 1.9k to 3.6k top lane, which, despite an overall 4k gold lead, only 1k of it is in the top lane.
True. I mean, you look at the 80 carries, and there's 1,000 gold difference. That's huge.
That is phenomenal.
I mean, this Sivir is so far ahead, not only in farm, but also in kills. I mean, she just has so much money. And bot lane, this not only running Soraka Vayne, which is an odd combination by any standpoint, because Vayne is either aggressive or incredibly defensive, and Soraka's the season 1 support flavor of the month kind of thing, and she's just fallen off because she doesn't do anything. She doesn't provide anything to the team.
Well, currently the problem is that Vayne is not tanky enough. After the early kill bot lane, very, very, very good mechanical play on Sivir and Annie's part. But after that early kill, there's really not much she can do due to her really short auto attack range. I believe it's 525 or 550. She has to be right up there to even look at the CS. And that just opens her up to get Annie stunned, to get...
Oh, but the engage on a Soraka in bottom, she is going to be able to use the heal. Is it going to be enough, though? Annie tanking the turret. No, and this Vayne, she shows herself mid, and as you just saw, Annie just dropping Tibbers, and it's over. Doesn't matter how many heals come out of this Soraka, it's not going to be enough.
And so they've completely given up the bot lane, knowing that they can't even lane. The threat of Annie just walking up to you and dropping Tibbers on your face, you just 100 to 0 if you don't have flash.
Absolutely.
So, blue team is going to take the...
though in mid lane, Amumu does use Curse of the Sad Mummy. As Syndra uses her ultimate. So much damage coming out, but it's not going to be enough to stun the Vayne. She's going to walk away. Ignite coming out from Karma. Is it going to be enough to kill? Vi showing up now. Does lock up Syndra. Is going to pick up the kill as they turn onto Amumu. Vi does start to tank it. She does flash for the engagement. And Karma picking up yet another kill. And in bot lane, Soraka shows back up and dies to this Sivir Annie. She doesn't stand a chance. She needs to... They need to do something. I mean, purple team is going to be taking mid lane here as blue team takes bot turret, and I don't know if the one outer's worth the inner.
Well, currently it's not looking good for purple team. They are quite a bit of gold behind.
Ow.
But I feel like the play mid, they got a little bit back, a little bit of momentum back, because with the bot turrets gone, it opens up Vayne to be able to farm kind of freely, or a little bit more safely, but they're going to lose a lot of pressure on the blue side objectives for purple side. If you notice, there is a ward on blue buff. I'm not sure if blue buff is up. Nope, it's not up. But when it's up, the next point of contention will be blue buff. And without the lack of turrets in bot lane, there's only the mid turret giving vision of blue team.
Oh, I mean, the biggest thing is now that blue team, they've taken Sivir and Annie out of the bot lane, and they can put them into mid and bring a Mumu. They can just start to team fight. They're already ahead. Gangplank never has to leave lane. He can just drop his ultimate down, and with Curse of the Sad Mummy, Annie stun, and Syndra stun, there's going to be enough CC to keep them in place until they die.
Exactly.
So the one downside with letting bottom go is now they're going to have to try to deal with team fights.
If you look bot, it looks like Mumu and Sivir are looking for a sneak attack.
Oh, and there they do. Sivir's ultimate does come out, but Vayne putting so much damage onto the Sivir isn't going to be enough. She's trying to tumble away. Does get the 500 shutdown goal, but she's going to be taking so much damage from this Amumu and the Gangplank. However, though, Annie's coming in trying to get an assist and does take the kill instead. So they do trade 1-1, however, blue team turning out ahead of that because they got 4 people in assist.
That was a very, very, very good play by Vayne, making the best out of a bad situation. She knew she was caught, she knew she was pincered, but...
Oh, but the engage in mid lane from Vi using the ultimate. They're going to be putting enough damage down. Isn't going to be Ignite coming out. Syndra ultimate, and Vi is going to live by the skin of her teeth unless the Annie somehow rotates up. Nope, Soraka does get the heal along with the shield. She escapes, no problem.
Down mid lane. Steadily push down mid lane. Gangplank, considering how he's just content farming, hasn't made game impact. He's had a few ultis, but when a Jarvan walks in level 1 to your level 7, you got to do something with that time lead.
Yeah,
I'm not very impressed with the Gangplank. I feel like Jarvan is catching up really rapidly, although his team is not doing the best.
Now as they do, blue team pushing in on the mid lane with Annie standing in the front.
The threat of the Annie is scares her right off the turret. Beautiful boomerang blade. Takes out a quarter of Soraka's health.
They do pick up the mid turret, and then they can just continue to push. This is all blue team has to do. Gangplank never has to leave. And as Vi looking to get an engagement here onto Amumu. Oh, and there's Vayne. Getting the 3 auto attacks. She does use the final hour. Karma's coming up. Oh, but is it an escape? Who knows? The Annie Tibber coming out isn't going to be enough, as both now Annie and Amumu are going to die here as Sivir's trying to get in there and do a little something, but the boomerang blade doesn't hit anything.
Coming up in under 10 seconds. This is a great spot for a purple team to be in.
Absolutely, and it does look that they want it back. Maybe they don't know the Dragon Timer, but it's coming up shortly here, as it does pop. But Sivir and Vayne fighting over the Wraiths, and it does look that Vayne won that. This is Jarvan. Trolls his Gangplank even harder, just continuously ulting every time it's up. Oh, but is Gangplank going to make him pay? It does look he's going to get the engagement as Jarvan has no mana, the Ignite coming out. And see who gets the last laugh, and it is definitely Gangplank here. Says, forget you, Jarvan, quick Cataclysm me, it's about time you died.
About time.
I can't believe if I was in that Gangplank's position, if I saw the level 1, but oh, here's the Sivir with the engagement, trying to fight onto this Vayne in a 1v1 situation, but she has the whole team following it up. As there's the Vayne, she is stuck in the bush. Annie now with the stun, so much damage coming out. Vayne just admits defeat, stands still. This blue team now is probably going to be pushing onto the dragon.
Immediately going to counter push mid, while blue team is and a very nice Gangplank goal.
Ooh, stopping that push.
Stopping the push, and it seems like both teams content with defending and stopping pushes instead of taking dragon, which this stage of the game Not a too bad of an
Oh,
idea.
but a Mumu with the stun is going to be sticking on the Soraka. The Curse of the Sad Mummy coming out, and there's the flash from Annie. So much damage. The Soraka is just using heal, using everything. Sivir, though, with the kill. Are they going to be able to turn on to Karma? No, they don't even know she's there. She backs away, no problem. As blue team looking to push down the mid turret. And I don't know what it is with people nowadays, though. No one wants to go after the dragon. Oh, is Jarvan
Uh,
taking so much damage from Gangplank. Oh!
Infinity Edge on the Gangplank finished at 17 minutes due to his very, very, very hard scaling build with the Avarice Blade. This guy is never going to run out of mana, and he's going to shoot you in the face for half your health.
300 damage came out of that crit onto Jarvan when he died.
Unbelievable.
Oh, as Vayne gets caught out of position, the Tibber stun coming out, along with the Syndra stun, chain stun, and that's all it's going to take. You're out of position for 1 second, they CC you, and you don't even get to move. You're dead.
Annie has boots of mobility, making her even more deadly. She's going to be able to roam around the map, making all these plays in the jungle, in the top lane, in the bot lane. She's very rarely, actually, with her AD carry, she's just constantly moving around, and any stun with the Gangplank ulti, and the burst out of Syndra, the burst out of Sivir, it's just gonna be absolute death.
Absolutely. It just melts anyone on the team right now as it looks like Vi's trying to fight onto this Gangplank. Gangplank's sitting there taking it. However, Jarvan's coming up, and this is what I was just saying. So much damage, though. Vi is going to be forced to flash away as Jarvan doesn't do anything. I think he just disconnected as Gangplank picks up a kill. And now Jarvan's trying to make something. He does get the Cataclysm off. Maybe looking to 1v1, but so much damage out of this Gangplank. All he needs is one more lucky crit, and there it is. And this Jarvan, I don't know what he was thinking, but Vi is definitely raging at him right now.
Not happy. He said run Gangplank in all chat.
Oh, so he did. Oh, as there's another engage, though, onto this Vayne into bot lane. Oh, so much damage. She's instantly going to die. The stun comes out, and this Vayne needs to stop going by herself with no wards.
She is just getting caught over and over and over again. And unfortunately, because there's no turrets in the bot lane, blue team cannot actually get any objectives out of that. But if you look, blue team is trying to flank onto the outer mid turret.
Yeah, I mean, the objective that they take is a base turret. They're going to take an inhibitor. All blue team has to do is group. Mumu has his ultimate. Annie does have her Tibbers up. Syndra's got it. Gangplank's the only one without his ultimate right now. Cataclysm's down. I mean, blue team can do it as they do engage onto the Jarvan instantly. He is gone. He was sitting there 1 second. Syndra got the stun. Everyone else chain stunned it. It was over as they do take onto this mid turret now. Oh, it's so much damage. Purple team they have no answer to blue right now. They can't fight.
The problem right now is that as 5, Amumu plus Gangplank plus Annie, you just can't kill them. Karma is a utility sort of mid laner. She's very, very good at poking people. She's very good at disengage, but you can't really disengage off of this much CC. You get Syndra stun, you get Amumu bandaged, and you're pretty much going down unless you have cleanse or QSS.
Absolutely. As Vayne sitting in the bush does sit onto the Syndra here, but all it's going to take is one stun. As all the CC comes out, she is instantly gone. Obliterated as Sivir does take top turret, completely uncontested here.
And if you take a look at the turrets on the map, blue team has 5 turrets, purple team has just 1 single turret in the mid lane.
Absolutely, as they do engage onto this Jarvan, stun's coming out, and Annie's picking up this kill. She has gotten more just petty kills than anything.
And we were talking about how a support Annie, especially in this season, is to be feared. Extremely, extremely feared.
Absolutely.
If she just gets any minor lead, she'll just completely obliterate Karma, obliterate Soraka, even Vayne now. 4 and 7, caught out quite too many times.
Far too many times. I mean, I feel that I'm watching back in like a gold league right now, just simple things.
Sivir is stealing away the red. He's going to back on a huge chunk of gold. Goes back, sitting on 2.3k, finishes the Blade of the Ruined King, and also finishes the Zeal. And is looking to build a Phantom Dancer. I'm not really liking Jarvan's build. I mean, he's behind, he got the lane late, and he watched it damage. And if you
Yeah.
learn anything from the Gangplank and the Jarvan,
Oh.
you can't go in if your team is not tanky enough to tank for you. And I don't think the Karma's playing fantastically. 3-0 into 178 CS, you know, way ahead of Syndra, despite how weak her team is.
True. I mean, this Karma's doing everything right, but you have to look. They have a team where it's kind of protect the Vayne, and Jarvan's not doing his part. Oh, and while Blue Team does go on to Baron, just the two of them,
Oh,
Annie and Sivir here. The stun coming out from Amumu, though, as well as the Cinder stun onto Jarvan, as Gangplank
and
picks up the kill.
here's the problem we were talking about. And Tibbers tanking up the Baron, rotating aggro very nicely. They're definitely going to pick up the Baron up. It's going to take a little bit of time. They always have Gangplank ulti in case things go south.
Yeah, but they're going to get it no problem. They're going to be incredibly low, but they are going to be able to get it here.
The blue team picking up the Baron.
Now,
This game is just spiraling out of control for purple team.
absolutely. There's nothing they can do at this point. I mean, it would have been a 20-minute surrender in my book, as Gangplank now engaging on as Vayne picks up a little bit of damage, does kick this Gangplank away as Karma's trying to do anything, but isn't able to. Syndra all coming out. Is the Ignite going to be enough to kill him? Oh! 650 damage crit onto Vayne as Gangplank does ult now and continues on to Karma. He needs one more Q. The flash out of Karma, though, is going to bring her to safety. This Gangplank is a monster.
Minion's gonna pick up the Karma though, making it an overall 1-for-1. But as you can see, this Gangplank does not care.
Oh, not one bit, as he half health.
Even Jarvan is paying him respect.
But as Karma now is going to be able to pick up the shutdown gold, 500 Gs, as Annie comes out, so much damage to the CC, shutdown now, counter 500 gets put onto Sivir as they do push down these two turrets. Vayne looking to maybe get something to happen here. But there's next to nothing that purple team can do. They might as well sit in base. This is a good game.
If you take a look, it all started out bot lane off of some really good plays by Annie and Sivir. And then Annie and Sivir just got more and more fed off of the overextended Vayne, and pretty soon, superior team comp.
they do pick up a kill on Vayne as she was standing on the stairs as it looks they're like, we're done, we quit, here you go, free kills, and there's one more as Mumu flashes out and doesn't die. That game, though, it could have been better for purple side, but Vi was stuck in the top lane, wasn't able to give any assistance into bottom.
If you look at the level differential though, Amumu was sitting at level 9 with Vi sitting at level 12, 3 levels different because Vi was soaking up so much experience in the top lane. But unfortunately, Vi was not able to translate that into any sort of meaningful lead.
Absolutely, and that's the downside whenever you have someone who leaves the game, is then you're stuck not being able to play your role. You have to play somebody else's. And if you just look at the end of the game, everyone on the enemy team, 13, 14, 15 for purple, and everyone on blue, and everyone on purple was 10, 12. They were so far behind.
This was just a complete rout. Vayne picking up 9 deaths, Jarvan with 7, although Jarvan didn't really try.
He wasn't there for half the game, so give him a break.
Then going complete glass cannon, ignoring the Vi and the gank. I mean, this was a little bit of an oddball, I would say. You don't really quite see this kind of play in Plat Diamond, even. But
yeah, maybe a little brother playing on the account, something. That was just
a little bit of respect to the Gangplank with the Infinity Edge and the Static Shiv, critting for a monstrous amount. And Gangplank actually very strong. A lot of people underestimate his late game carry potential. He actually carries just as hard as Nasus. Unfortunately, his early game is very weak. Pretty much anyone can just sit on him in lane, but when you've got a lane just to yourself, a jungler maybe who can't kill you because you're hitting her in the face for quite a bit of damage, and you just have the extra 60, 70 CS to yourself, you become a late game monster.
Oh, absolutely. And
between the parlay gold and the static shiv, there's just a lot of gold.
He could have been even scarier, but he didn't take advantage of the 250 gold that was sitting on Jarvan's head until he was level 9. Then he was just like, all right, I'm done toying around with you, and killed him.
I didn't really like the tier pickup, because tier, while it gives you all that mana regen, it doesn't really give you combat stats. Combat stats, damage, health, armor, magic resist. You build utility like mana You build gold gen like on an Avarice blade. You build lifesteal, which lifesteal, don't get me wrong, is an amazing stat, but you lose the all-in potential. You know,
True, but
you
he
kind of
analyzed the situation where he knew Jarvan wasn't there, so
you could
he
get
could play
away
as
with the
passive as
tier,
he
right?
wanted.
You could get away with the tier, but I feel like if you built a Sheen instead of the tier, sacrifice a little bit of mana, sacrifice a mana immune for let's say a Triforce, you would have been able to, like Jarvan would have walked into lane and he would have just shot him in the face for half his life, and then Jarvan would have promptly walked back out of lane.
Absolutely. But I think that's where it was really nice to see the Gangplank who was like, all right, I know you're going to get crapped on if I wanted to kill you,
Right.
so I don't want to kill you. I will let you just play it out. We'll have some fun.
Yeah.
And his team was already so far ahead at the time when Jarvan showed up that I don't think he really cared. I mean, bot lane already was 2-0-2 at that point.
Let's jump into another game. I have a Platinum one
Okay.
in Champion Select. I also have a couple people in queue, the same group that we just activated in queue.
Was that
Uh,
just a solo or was that a group?
I believe that was a group of people, two or three people at least.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure if it was full 5v5 or if it was. I don't really think the GP and the Jarvan if would make it a full 5v5, just because there's a little bit of a let's try, let's not try kind of mentality. I would feel really bad for the Karma if it was a full prearranged. You know, you're trying really hard. You're 3-0-2. You're making the best out of a bad situation. And you built a utility kind of mage that thrives in team fights, thrives poking, with that shield that speeds everyone up, disengages. Uh, but your team is kind of just like, whatever. I would hate to be in those shoes. I don't know about you. What do you think?
It's so sad that the Karma played incredibly well. She did everything she was supposed to, but because League is this team-based game, it doesn't matter how well one person does. If you want to carry a game yourself, go play Dota, go play Han. But
Right.
unfortunately, no matter how well you play, if you have an AFK or if your ADC sucks and doesn't know how to position, like these are just things that you deal with. You got to sit on your hands and try your best. That's why you play carry mid laners if you're going to solo queue, or you play these carry
Exactly.
champions to make up for the retard that's going to be on your team.
And I remember I was watching Wild Turtle in LCS, and there's one play where he was Twitch. In a 5v5, he flashes into the enemy base. His team flashes after him, TSM obviously, and they just get picked off one by one by one by one. And they were in the driver's seat for pretty much the entirety of the match. And it was just a bad play. They traded 3 for 2. They ended up salvaging a really bad situation, but it could have been a much, much smoother ace. And they interviewed Wild Turtle at the end and said, what were you thinking? Flashing into their base. And he's like, just I got bored. There's no action. So I had solo queue mentality. I just flashed in and went YOLO. Yep.
it's the it's the truth though. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of normal games that I've played where you're just like, man, we're just gonna pussyfoot around. You're gonna do like that mid lane dance where it's like, I'm gonna
Yeah, the
engage, I'm not
dance.
gonna
Right.
engage, I'm gonna engage. That you're just like, screw it, let's go. And I've pre-made 5 before with a couple buddies, and we just do the dumbest stuff where we all sat in Wraith camp. We're
Oh,
all an
and
AOE team, and we flashed
it
over, dropped it all, it was done, and we just walked in and
and
won.
it appears that there's a game going on right now. We have a 1 minute 38 second delay,
Okay,
but they are in match. Let me pull up Law Nexus and take a look at the relative rankings of everyone.
let's see what we got.
Spicy Fox One would be the person.
Spicy Fox 1.
Yes, yes.
ONE or the number 1?
Let me. I'll link you the. I'll link you in chat.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second
Not a
to.
problem.
Oh, I'm in the Brazil region. This would make a lot of sense as to why I cannot locate the game.
Oh, well, so it's not locatable.
All right, I've got it. Here we go. Here is the wall nexus. While we're waiting for loading,
All right. So if you want to
and
chat
law.
about it, I will be right back.
All right, law nexus, great utility for looking up relative rankings. It gives you your current rating. It gives you the amount of times you played with said champion, a KDA, rank lost, but most importantly, it gives you runes and masteries for every single player. So you can actually hover your mouse over the runes and say, "Oh wow, this Ari built magic hybrid penetration, whereas this Oriana built uh, scaling ability power, a little bit of scaling ability power, and also hybrid penetration. So when you know the runes and masteries of your opponent, obviously this is not going to happen in a normal like a tournament match. But when you actually know the runes and masteries of your opponent via this utility, you can kind of play around how they built. And we are loading right into the Rift. Let me take a look at.
Now you can still use little Nexus in tournaments. It's frowned upon,
It
but
is.
you can use it. But no one wants to be known as like that team or that
Right,
guy.
right, yeah.
So
Like, oh, that person ghosts.
yeah,
Like,
I hate that. Then you're like, wow, there's that guy, and I have to play up against his team, which no.
so looking at the matchups, you have an Oriana Jax versus a Mundo and Ari mid. I really like the Oriana Jax because Jax can just jump in with the counter strike and his ulti, which makes him incredibly tanky. Oriana puts the ball on him, and then boom, everyone's stunned and then collapsed upon, making it a very, very nice setup for an Annie if she decides to follow up and not be the primary engage.
And then on top of it, you can have just Jinx play big old cleanup with a massive AoE, and everyone's going to be low HP, so it's going to do
Exactly.
even more.
And then if Jax decides not to go for the team fight tanky sort of engage, he can go for the split push build, which Triforce Blade of the Ruin King. Nobody can actually duel him.
No.
It's he's gonna just lifesteal through Mundo. He's gonna lifesteal through Ari. Perhaps if he gets double teamed, but I mean Jax with the Ruin King, he just pops the active and runs away.
I think though, if they fight him early, if Mundo and Vi really commit to him,
And shut
killing
him
him
down.
before 6, and just keep camping the
Mhm.
lane, make sure he can't farm, then he's not going to be as
Mundo's
big of a threat.
Mundo is just like Jax. Mundo can build full defensive items, and you can't ignore him. You can't just, sometimes you can, like a Shen, once he gets off that primary taunt, you can kind of leave him in the middle of your team. He does damage, but it's not that big of a threat. Jax, you do not want to leave in the middle of your team. And
No.
Mundo, especially, you do not want to leave in the middle of your team when he has the Burning Agony running, and he also has um, his Masochism, which gives him 180 plus 180 per percent of his missing health. So this Mundo drops to 20%. He has 180 attack damage steroid. He's auto attacking you for like 300, 400 a pop, and
And
that just spells death. Oh, let's just ignore this Mundo while he kills my carry with 4,000 health.
and then if he gets a Sunfire Cape on top of it, not only is he doing 120 damage just with his AoE on top of the auto attacks, it's absolutely obscene. And I can't tell you
And
the amount of teams that have lost because of
luck,
leaving a Mundo there.
luckily, they have an Annie with Ignite. So the thing with Mundo is you have to burst him down early. A lot of people say don't focus the Mundo. You actually focus the Mundo. You ignite him and then you burst him out, force out his ulti, and then you kite away. He's basically forced to go in Rambo, just like a Jax is forced to go in Rambo. And Mundos, they're not really assassins, so they don't have to look for opportunities to go in on your team. You just have to ignite and kite. And
Okay.
if you look at the bot lane, it's Lucian versus a Jinx. Currently, off of this patch, we're looking at the trifecta of AD carries: Lucian, Jinx, and Sivir. You ban one, pick one, and then the enemy team picks the other. Everything that Vayne does, I feel like Sivir does a little bit better. You know, Sivir has the move speed to chase you down. Everything that Kate does, Jinx does very, very well too. And Lucian is just in his own tier. Getting that passive that lets him shoot twice is just like free attack speed.
Oh, but
And
here they go. Lee Sin is going to be stuck right in front. Is going to be forced to flash away as Mundo is going to have a cleaver up, but it's not going to hit
Cleaver
as
misses, the Zap misses. And blue team's gonna be stealing away the blue buff. Ward's coming out on both sides. Trying to get a little bit of vision as to what's going on. Lee Sin knows that his blue buff's being contested. Is probably gonna path right to his red buff.
as back pinks come out. Mundo is going to be able to get away. Blue team running away now. And
And
doesn't
Lee
look like that blue
Sin
buff is going to be taken. Lee Sin
and
may go to take
Lee
blue.
Sin going back to his blue buff. And blue team taking the safe route. Tarek stunning the lizard, going nope, saving you a little bit of health. Vi's gonna be taking away the red buff, while Lee Sin simultaneously takes away the blue buff. Vi's a little bit ahead in the jungle actually, by about 5 or 6 seconds, which makes the first gank top, if they both decide to visit top, you're gonna be a little bit more favorable for Mundo. than it is for Lee Sin.
I don't know. I personally find when ganks happen, the person who comes in second usually ends up winning because all the cooldowns are already up. They've already overly committed, and you can kind of.
I completely agree. Unless Vi can make use of that 10 seconds or so that she's ahead of Lee Sin into making an opportune gank. And here we look a little bit of action in the top lane. Mundo and Jax just trading back and forth. Both are at half-life. One jungle gank on either
Oh,
side.
but the stun now onto Annie. So much damage coming out as the counter stun. Coming out, Taric first stunned. Onto Annie. So much half HP, though.
Annie and Taric, both tier 1 supports. Taric kind of.
Oh, but the flash stun from Jax. Ignite coming down now. He needs at least one more auto attack, but it's not going to be enough. Mundo with the health pot ticking. Oh, but the jump first blood. Baited in. Beautiful play from Jax.
Here comes Vi.
Oh, though, is Vi going to be able to make something happen? As we take a look, she is going to be charging up this Q. Counter-strike coming up, though. Both players just looking at each other so much. Jax is going to commit to the fight, trying to bring minions into it, but Vi is going to be able to get that kill, no problem.
Jax got a little bit too greedy on that one, trying to push the wave into the tower and got really, really punished for it. He should have known that Vi was probably done.
Oh, but Lee Sin!
Not enough.
Close, no cigar.
Mundo gonna come back, pick up all the CS. You know, he might be a kill down, but he is definitely gonna pick up all that CS and even it up. Because,
oh, and the stun coming down now on Annie. Lucian with both double attacks is going to flash. Trying to get one more auto attack isn't going to be enough. And this bot lane completely terrifying. That Taric stun comes out and there's nothing that they can do.
Taric is very, very similar to Annie in the fact that he has a stun, a ranged stun. Annie does a little bit more damage. But Taric's early game compared to Annie's early game is much, much better. Because he has not only the stun, but he also has the armor buff and he has the heal. And while you can engage on the Annie, you can't really stun the Taric, and you know it's not gonna do much.
No, but in top lane, Jax with the counter strike, putting this Mundo down to half HP as Mundo's trying to get a little bit of a trade going off. But Jax is just pulling ahead bit by bit, every little exchange that they try to do.
Winning the trades, but Mundo is actually 7 CS ahead. And he's going to slowly sustain up.
Oh, as Vi coming in on the mid lane for the Orianna. As Lee Sin shows up at the same time, blocking the Q as they disengage. But the taunt coming out and in top lane, Jax is taking so much damage from the Burning Agony. The Ignite coming out, Mundo picking up the kill.
Taking it up.
Oh, as we quick look to Annie in bottom, who is going to die. And possibly switching on to Jinx if Lucian can get enough mana for the Q. But he does back off there. Annie now dead in the bot lane. This Lucian's just getting even more ahead. 1 kill, 33 CS.
Jinx, due to the fear of the Taric stun, can't even step close to the CS. She's trying to CS with Zap. And she's just gonna abandon the turret until Annie gets around because she knows Taric, if he has flash available, which he doesn't, but if Taric decides to stun, she's just gonna be a very, very, very dead AD carry. Or marksman, as they call it.
Yeah, any idea why they changed it to marksman as opposed to AD carry?
Maybe it's because...
oh, and the Ignite Flash coming out on Orianna, and she's not going to have enough mana to shield herself.
Very nice play coming out of Ahri.
Great job, Spicy Fox.
And now, Ahri, although she loses the Flash, she still has her ulti, so that she's much, much safer than the ganks. And when you trade flashes as a mid laner, you have to be very leery, because mid lane is close to both top and bot side. You're gonna get a lot of jungle pressure, and I want to see how Lee Sin and Vi react to that, knowing that both mid laners have no flash. Ahri definitely in a better position though.
Yeah, and if you look, Lee Sin, if he gets the Q onto Ahri, doesn't matter how many times she dashes away, Orianna can still put the ball on her and then command dissonance, bring her back, and
if Orianna cannot burst out Ahri in one rotation, then she's going to get away. Lee Sin can only kick once and slow once, but Ahri has 3 dashes off.
Oh, but the stun coming down onto Jinx, as they are going to commit onto Lucian as he's going to dash away. Barrier coming out. Zap is going to hit a minion as Lee Sin does war jump. So much damage onto Annie, but she is going to live as Taric tries to get a kill. Isn't going to be enough. Lee Sin still committing underneath the turret. Does get taken so low as Jinx now.
Taric getting greedy, and the Zap misses twice.
Vi coming in. Back pings everywhere. Taric is going to be fine.
Jax is roaming mid.
Oh, the stun now onto the Ahri. Isn't going to be enough, but does bait out the ultimate.
Baits out the ultimate. So Arya's ultimate's going to be down for about 2 minutes, giving Oriana a little bit of breathing room, knowing that Arya just can't rush in and assassinate her. Jax is going to be moving on his way back up top. He's quite a bit behind Mundo now that he's 1 and 2. Mundo's 1 and 1. And quite a bit of CS difference. Mundo with the Giant Spell, not going to take him down unless Jax gets a little bit of sustained.
Or a little bit of help.
Yeah, either or.
But no, this Mundo has already asserted his dominance in the top lane, and Jax is afraid, and he knows that he can't be in there. That's why he was looking to possibly get the roam in.
And Oriana going to pick up the blue buff from Lee Sin, while Jax and Mundo dueling up top. Mundo kind of leery about pushing into Jax's tower, knowing that he can't really get that much damage off without the tower hitting him. So he's just content to let Jax farm on his tower.
True, then he has no idea where the Lee Sin is. So he's nervous on possibly getting ganked as he trades a little bit onto the Jax there. Maybe he's not too worried. Now we see Tarek is looking to try and make something happen in bottom, possibly with the stun onto Jinx or onto Annie. There's so much damage either way.
Tarek is level 6 and Annie is level 4. This could mean some really bad news for bot lane if Vi was swinging around.
Oh, as Jax trying to commit to a top fight, Mundo's ult does come out, going to give him so much health regen. Ignite coming down from Mundo, one more cleaver, an auto attack even, and that is going to be enough. The Burning Agony picks up the kill as Mundo walks away, no problem, and they do stun onto Annie. So much damage, the ultimate coming out. Lucian is not level 6, so he can't pick up the kill as Tarek begins to tank, healing through, says, I'll tank for you, as Lucian and him are not on the same page. Jinx just whiffing on the ultimate, and because of her passive, is going to be enough to come up, and the stun coming out now as Vi's level 6 does get the lockdown onto Jinx. So much damage coming out. Lucian does pick up the kill with what's that skill where he shoots out that big old lightning ball thing, majiggy?
The cross?
Yeah.
Yes. I actually don't know what it is.
Ardent Blaze.
Ardent Blaze.
Oh, is Lee Sin taken so low from the Ignite onto Ahri that he's going to be forced to flash away as Jax, roaming from top lane, looking onto the Lucian, trying to get close enough for the stun, does get it, as they both get the assist now onto the Lucian kill.
This Jax is making the best out of a bad situation. He knows that he can't kill Mundo top, and he knows that he can't trade with Mundo top. So he's just roaming around the map, pushing his lane, roaming around the map, hoping to get his team ahead so that his team can actually make something happen. And, you know, that is very, very, very smart because he's going back top lane and he's not losing any CS.
Absolutely. And it's hard for most players to realize that, all right, I'm losing in my lane. I got to just sit in my lane and continue to lose or gain what little XP that I can. Or that's not the answer.
Tarek catching out the Annie
You mean Annie catching out the Tarek? Annie's trying. I'm just a little girl, Tarek. Get away from me.
So at this point, bot lane is in a really bad situation. Lucian 2 and 2, Jinx 1 and 1, Annie not level 6 yet. I feel like the bot lane is just depends on who lands the stun on who.
Lee Sin and Vi though fighting in the jungle. If we take a look here, Lee Sin is so low.
Vi gonna steal the double golem. It's gonna get that extra bit of gold. Now, if you look at the gold counts, it's 15.1 to 13.4. We'll be banking all the gold is in the top lane. And take a look. 3.4k gold on Ahri to 3.2k gold on Oriana. Very fairly even lane. Looking at the ADCs, 3.7k gold to 2.8k. 1k difference. I don't know how that happened.
It's got to be from the assist and it's the double kill.
It's the relic shield.
Oh, good point. I keep forgetting about that. Oh, but the taunt coming out from the Ahri. She's taken so low as this Oriana. All she's got to do is shield absorb some of the damage here. As Lucian trying to get engaged on Lee Sin showing up in the bot lane is going to catch this Tarek out of position. Lee Sin, though, taken so low as this Lucian continues to poke down. Annie finally dropping Tibbers. Zap coming out, does just miss. She does line up the ultimate, as it is going to be enough now to drop Tarek, as Lucian's ultimate does whiff. Annie laying down the stuns. Lucian's trying to make a fight happen. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. But Vi looking to play cleanup. It's going to be 3v1. Is Vi going to be able to do enough? As in the top lane, we see... Oh, Vi does lock down onto this. Annie does try to go onto Jinx here. Is she going to be able to pick up 2? Does pick up a double kill. Beautiful cleanup. As in the top lane, we saw Mundo was taken so low while fighting Jax, but his ultimate does keep him alive. Oh, as Jax trying to get a trade now, has no mana.
Jax out of mana. Not looking good for him. Mundo... Hands are glowing from the masochism. Gonna do a lot of damage with his auto attacks. Believe it or not, the Jax probably cannot dive the Mundo as he has no ignite. Mundo just gonna ignite and kite away. Although even though Mundo looks really low, don't forget he has a Giant's belt, and he has Ninja Tab Eye. He can outrun Jax with a cleaver and just kite around the turret.
And I think Jax realizes that, as well as him already being behind. He's not looking to make anything crazy happen here. Maybe I lied, as he does do a little bit of a trade onto the Mundo, bringing him a little bit lower. But Mundo's ultimate is going to be up.
And he has no mana whatsoever.
As Lee Sin does look to make another play into the bot lane. He's trying to get in, does miss the Q. However, the stun coming out now on Taric. Annie looking for one more spell to get the stun up. Isn't going to be enough. The Jinx does get the lockdown, though, and they are going to commit onto the Taric. So much damage. Oh, beautiful flash as Lucian tanks the ultimate.
The ultimate, right. And Taric played that out very, very well. Flashing when Lee Sin flashed, knowing that Lee Sin wanted to flash kick him. Lee Sin could have been a little bit faster on the flash kick.
Well, it was the ward jump kick. So that's why he had enough time to react to, okay, there's the ward, I know this is coming, flashed out, then the kick. If it was a flash kick, boom, that's instant.
Mundo going to be taking away the top turret. Mundo still hasn't backed after all of that. His passive and his ultimate bringing him back up to speed and very healthy. Taric is just going to be healing away.
Taric's... If you look, he's playing incredibly well in this bot lane for the situation that's been going on.
I feel like he and Lucian are a little bit too greedy. Vi is always passing bot whenever there's action, but they stay a little bit too long, and they always try and turn the fight. So Vi is playing a cleanup as opposed to a clean 3-for-1 or maybe even 3-for-0.
Oh, and Vi did try to sneak in there, but she did get noticed as Jax now is possibly looking to fight onto the Mundo.
Ari's coming down, Orianna's scaling her. Ari's going to get there first.
Oh, in the top lane, though, Jax is going to force the flash out of Mundo as he is taken incredibly low. Jax both really low. And in the bot lane, Orianna, Ari are going to get into a little bit of a exchange here. As Orianna walks away, no big deal.
Blue team's going to pick up the first turret of the game.
Now it's intense in the top lane. Both players flash for Jax.
Both players, lots of respect. There's Ignite up on Mundo right now. Mundo's going to be backing, knowing that Jax's Ignite is going to be back when he gets back in the lane. And blue team is going to take start, taking away the dragon.
As pinks did come out from purple team, and you can see them rotating. Annie leading the charge, trying to get in there to get a stun down. She does have it. Oh, but lack of communication does get onto the Vi as the Qs do land as well. Vi is trying to get away. The rocket isn't going to be enough to take it low enough. The kick, though, so close. Shut down. Beautiful play out of purple team. Though they lost the dragon, they did pick up one kill, lessening that blow. And if they push down mid here, they can take the turret as well.
Jax just roamed all the way down, and they're going to be making a push on mid, giving up top lane.
They know that Mundo's going to get it. Jax can't contest, so they figure why not make the best out of the situation here. We'll just take mid, trade turret for turret. No big deal.
And we're looking at 1-for-1 in turrets right now, but the turret count is soon going to be 2-for-1 for blue team.
Purple team sticking to the turret. They can get on the next push. Stun coming out. Into the charm. Oh, but Jax does get the flash initiation. And there's so much damage coming down on Ari is going to die. Exhaust coming out from Taric onto the Lee Sin isn't going to be enough. Taric's going to back away as Vi's trying to make something happen here. Does get the lockdown onto Eddie, even through the flash, and picks up the kill as Lucian's coming in for a cleanup kill. Does use his ultimate, picks up one, trying to go for two.
Meanwhile, Mundo in the top lane, just farming away. Mundo getting that Sunfire, able to push really, really, really quickly. Take down those minions extremely quickly with his masochism. Take down turrets also very quickly. Mundo is going to be a force to be reckoned with right now. 40 CS up on Jax. And looking in very good shape. Meanwhile, Jax home guarding out of top to try and defend that turret, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Oh, it's not going to be enough. Mundo just needs to stick to it. Does get his ultimate off, and he's going to just sit here and fight Jax. Says, let's do this. Ignite coming out from Mundo. Mundo with the slow. Jax is trying to leap away as Annie shows up now, trying to give it a little bit of assistance. But Mundo's just like, oh, whatever. I got my ultimate on. I'll see you later. Thanks for the turret. And they turned that whole situation into mid lane. They lost the turret and then counter-initiated, and blue team got the turret out of it.
It ended up being a 2-for-2, I believe. But Mundo picking up 2 turrets in the top.
Oh, the stun coming down now. So much damage. Oriana's going to be forced to flash away as Ari did burn her Deathfire Grasp as Tarek tanks the turret but does engage back in. Does miss the Q. Oh, but the slow from Annie is going to force Ari away using the ultimate to get out of dodge.
Some of these new items, and you're like, what? Where did that slow come from? And you realize, oh, Annie built the ice shard, the Frost Queen.
Yeah, and it's so weird to me to see these new items where you're not accustomed to it. I'm used to seeing the big AoE slow from Shard of True Ice, but so much damage coming out on Annie. She's so low. Mundo tanking the turret, not caring, does commit onto Jax as Lee Sin is so far behind. He is going to be forced to flash away. Now the stun coming down onto Jax. Jinx trying to zap, keeping the Mundo out of there, but he's just tanking the turrets, not caring. Is going to engage on the Lee Sin, but Lee Sin does kick him, picking up the kill. Jax is going to die 1-for-1 both in top lane as Tarek's taken incredibly low now, and Oriana picks up the kill on him as Vi is going to be forced to just Q out of there.
And overall, a 2-for-1. Lee Sin barely getting out by the skin of his teeth. Very good play on both teams. Unfortunately, blue team wasn't in position to follow up and dive. I feel like their carries are trapped behind the wall, just kind of looking, going, "Oh, I wish I was there. I wish I had some sort of wall jump or gap closers." But all I can do is be with you in spirit, brother.
Yeah, Mundo went man mode incredibly. He tanked the turret for so long and then got behind and was stuck out of position along with Tarek. And
Flash coming out of Vi.
Vi was in a bad situation. Saved her life. I don't know if she needed to use it, but better to be safe than sorry.
Let's take a look at the builds. What do you make of this? Oriana versus Ari.
Now, the Oriana build's incredibly standard. You get Athenes, you get Boots, you get Deathcap, and that's looking to be straight on par. Along with this Ari as well, Deathfire into Deathcap, or you can go Rylai's, basically a health item to make up for the damage that you already have.
Going for an assassin build. She's gonna dash in, pop the Deathfire, pop the charm, and then just combo out. Although it's completely reliant. The new Ari is reliant on landing her charm. Otherwise, she loses a lot of her damage.
Absolutely, and with it, the 15% increased, it on top of a Deathfire Grasp, I mean, that's a 30% increase on damage that you're taking instantly as Tarek gets the forward ping to go onto her. Isn't going to get close enough as the slow comes out, as well as the speed up. As you see Lee Sin trying to take onto his red buff, but Mundo, oh, not going to be enough. I thought he got the smite in. Oh, the stun coming down onto Lee Sin as Mundo sticks to him. He is going to get blown up.
But he smited a little too early.
Mundo taken so low. Anti-Tibbers is going to be burned. Jax coming in with the double stun as they do focus onto Arya, and she's going to dash away, but the Ignite is going to take away to kill her. Jinx, with the movement speed passive, is catching up. The stun comes out from Annie. Lucian barrier coming down, but he is going to die as well as Vi jumps into the back line, and she's going to melt away as Jax, Annie, Oriana all stick to it. The zap hitting from a distance. Annie picking up the kill as they're trying to commit now onto Tarek. They are going to get this speed up, but they do back off.
Ping's going up onto Baron, and this is a Baron pickup for purple team. I'm going to say purple and red. I have colorblind mode on right now.
Oh, so. Do you? I run purple and blue. Sorry. I can't run colorblind. It messes with my own vision. As Jax is going to be trying to take the Baron here, and he's taking incredibly low as Tarek is stuck in the back. They do have back pinks coming out. The zap coming down on a Tarek. Jinx is going to be able to pick up the kill. Oh, instead Oriana picks it up. No big deal. Sharing the wealth.
Very good play by Tarek, sacrificing his life and preventing the enemy team from taking the Baron buff, which is huge. Now, ping's going up onto Baron for blue team. Would they be looking at a counter Baron?
I don't know. That was a risky move by Pro Team to even go for the Baron. Oh, Mundo is stuck way far behind as Jax is trying to come in from the top now to collapse. Mundo's ultimate giving him the increased movement speed. Jax does get the stun off onto him, however, Lee Sin needs to land the Q. And he does land it. Oriana giving the speed up, does command dissonance in the back. However, Annie is baited in the background and is killed by the Lucian. Vi, as Mundo continues to run around, is taken down by the cripple. Lucian now coming in. Looking to do one more auto attack. Charm coming out. Lucian picking up 1 kill. Is he going to be able to pick up 2 kills? Ignite coming out. Double kill from Lucian as they do make pings onto Baron. Pings coming down on the turret. Looks like they are going to be pushing into the top lane.
And this is what happens when you have a Mundo that can go where he pleases. Gets caught by 4 people. Burns so many ultimates. And still manages to survive for a solid 20-30 seconds for his team to collapse on his position.
And, I mean, all he had to do is he was just doing the Mundo thing. Just run around, doing whatever he wants. And he did exactly what his character's built for. baiting out everything. Now that purple's on cooldown, there's nothing they can do.
Unfortunately, though, next time he shows up in a team fight, Ignite is going to be up, and that's going to cut his healing in half and really, really kill his efficacy on his ultimate. Meanwhile, Dragon is up. It looks like blue and purple team, or red team, depending on if you have color button on or off, are heading towards there. Looks like Mundo's going to try and solo the Dragon, while purple team pushes down the mid lane.
And purple has no vision on the dragon, so they have no idea other than, that gut feeling, but they probably assume, oh, now with blue rotating, they do know. But Mundo, taking only into a quarter HP with soloing the dragon as blue team picks it up. Oh, and are they going to be able to get a cleaver onto the Annie? However, Jax jumps into the backline. Vi coming down now. Orianna missing her ultimate completely as Annie gets melted. Lucian gets melted. Vi's trying to do damage, just get kicked forward as blue team is just gone.
3-for-1 because Ahri was not there. It was a 4v5. Very good play by blue team or purple team to capitalize on the and Ahri is going to get jumped on.
And meanwhile, also in bot lane, Lee Sin still sticking to Taric, as Taric is a big tank, doesn't care. And
new support Taric. So tanky. And then Jack's just going to thump away the turret.
Absolutely.
That sound is the sound of nightmares from my solo queue days. Just thump, 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 thump.
I wish they would get rid of that sound. There's no need for it. It's just obnoxious. You just know that when he jumps to you, he's going to hit you incredibly hard.
Jax, only 30 CS behind Mundo, looking to finish that Triforce on this next back, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Going to just jump on you and just smack you in the face for a couple hundred damage.
Absolutely, and though he's down only the 30 CS, I mean, you can look at the gold, it's only a few hundred off, compared to earlier where there was a huge difference. Now that is definitely diminished.
8.4k to 9.5k from the 80 carries, and Lucian picking up that red pot. You're gonna give him that extra 80, that extra health. Might just be what he needs to bait out a good team fight.
But I don't know if it's going to be enough. I mean, you have to deal with the Jax burst, the Orianna burst, along with the Annie. I don't think that the 250 health coming from red pot is going to be enough to keep him in the fight.
He's got the berry, he's got a flash, and he's got a dash. Let's just hope that his Mundo can be distracting enough that he can just go in there and just call whoever he pleases.
We'll see, hopefully. And this is just with the new supports, you can see just how much gold Lucian has, where Jinx has, the 13 assists, but the gold difference, the 1 point...
The Annie, too, just a couple of minutes, she's gonna have a Zanya's, and she can just actually flash in there, drop the Tivers, Zanya's up when they switch focus to her, and maybe even live long.
Oh, as Lucian does commit, though, onto the Orianna. He's trying to get the ultimate off, but isn't going to be enough. Zap missing now as Lucian begins to kite onto this Lee Sin. Lee Sin is going to be forced to flash away.
Two flashes burn for purple team, and then here comes the chase. Jax.
Vi coming in, does lock down onto the Jinx, but no one is able to follow up due to the beautiful snap, trap, clamp, chompers laid down by Jinx.
Jax moving in from the mid lane. Gonna go bot lane to help try and fend off this push. It's a 5 versus 5 push in the bot lane. Vi going back. All the ultimates.
But Vi is going to be caught out as they do stun onto this Lee Sin. Lee Sin is going to dash away. Jax jumping in now. Mundo's going to be forced to flash away as Annie's taken incredibly low. Ahri's committing now onto the Jinx. Lee Sin's trying to get out of there. And there's so much going on. The auto attack does just miss. Jax is in there tanking it up. Hourglass coming out from Ahri. And command dissonance. Oh, absolutely melting Ahri and Taric. Great job of Orianna holding onto it as Jax tries to get this done now, and they're going to be committing onto the Mundo. Mundo evaporating as Lucian's trying to get a little bit of damage, but is it going to be enough? He does kill the Jinx as he begins to kite. Jax isn't enough. Vi coming in now trying to pick up some kills. She's taking incredibly low, and Jax and Orianna, just the two carries, melting.
Wow. That's all I can say. Lucian, the entire team fight was stuck behind a wall. Going, I want to help too, guys. I want to help too, but I'm behind a wall. Jack's going to be taking up the turret with the Orianna ball, giving him a little resistance, a little bit of shield. Going to get a little bit of damage off on that turret. Meanwhile, Annie taking away their aids.
Now they will be able to take bot turret here.
This is very, very even game. Even though the gold is dead even, 4-2 in turrets, a little bit in favor of blue team. But these are some really bad team fights for blue, where the AD carry is just not able to get into the fight. He's behind a wall, doing nothing for the first 15-20 seconds as his team is just evaporating.
Absolutely. And I mean, right off the bat, once Lee Sin was out of the fight, once they had killed the Annie,
Once you,
like they could have
once you,
just gone and done another objective. They tried to
right.
force the fight, and
This
it
is the
was
problem
bad.
with the NA solo queue. It's like it's not a good fight until one side gets aced. And if one person is alive, you chase that person down and let them know you are getting aced. But
That's so true. There's no remorse. I will kill you. I don't care if I lose the game. You will die.
but now it's the Steam Cup is paying dividends. You have Jax and Orianna. Using Jax as the channel for the ball, although Orianna whipped the ball in more often than not. When she lands a good ult on the carry, it's just gonna be night night
Oh, and
for
Mundo looking
Lucian.
to stick onto the Jinx here as Jax does get the stun onto Lucian. He's completely out by himself. Lucian has no way to escape as Jax does get the little 1v1 off and does kill as Mundo's going onto Jinx now. Orianna showing up though as Mundo's like, I'm out. Forget this. But Vi coming out from the side, going to be putting down damage. Doesn't know who they want to go on. Orianna's trying to drop everything she can before she dies. The kick coming out. They do shut down Mundo. They traded Orianna for Mundo as Andy's in the back laying down so much damage onto Ori here. Around Arias, the Lee Sin gets taunted. Initiation coming out from the Jinx, or from Vi onto Jinx in the back. So much going on as Tarek dies. Jinx sitting in the background, getting up close and personal, picking up a double kill onto Vi as Annie's sitting there with solo HP.
Annie definitely the MVP of that team fight over there. She's just positioned off on the side, churning out stun after stun after stun. I think she landed 3 stuns on that last team fight. And here we go with Jax chasing down.
Jax
with
does get the flash, does miss, and Ari is going to die here. One auto attack, that's all it's going to take.
Very dead Fox. Still 4-3 in turrets. Gold is very close. If you look at the ward coverage, purple team has almost no wards, except for the two near topside by Baron. Whereas blue team's wards littered everywhere.
And that's what you need. Like, this is the point in the game where the Baron can happen at any point in time. You need to have the whole bottom side or top side, however you want to look at it, warded all around Baron. You need to know if they're going to be doing it.
That top turret with Jax taking away the blue, no one's going to even know.
No, because they have no vision.
Meanwhile, Mundo starting the dragon.
Oh, as Jax committing right onto Vi here. Vi's trying to get away, does cancel the Q. This is going to be a dead Vi, and she knows it. Does try to get the Q over, does body block it. This Jax, unbelievable.
This Jax is getting to the point where he's got the Triforce, he's got a Hydra, believe it or not, and no one can duel him 1v1.
They are going to be turning around, getting the dragon as Purple Team comes in and ninjas that. Mundo is stuck way out of position as all of Purple Team coming in, but he is tanking, trying to do as much as he can, and he's trying to run away. Everyone's getting an assist off of it, though, as Mundo does drop here, and they do commit onto Ari, who got caught out of position by the Jax, as Purple Team makes pings for mid-turret.
This is exactly what I was talking about, where Jax getting ahead just becomes unstoppable. You can't really send anyone for him, and then there's pings going up onto Baron. Lucian gonna take away the red buff, and I don't think they're gonna try and contest this Baron. Oh nope, they are trying to contest this Baron. Jax starting the Baron.
They gotta do something.
Really, really, really good at taking Barons due to his passive and his ulti passive. Orianna doing a lot of damage as well and Jinx. They're gonna take down this Baron incredibly quickly.
Absolutely, and by the time blue team rotates over, it's gonna be over.
It's
Vi's trying to get out of there. And now Purple Team is going to be able to push up mid. Oh, is the initiation coming out from Jax? So much onto this Tarek. As Tarek does flash away, no big deal. But there's the engage still. Jax is on a manhunt, doesn't care. Going after somebody as they turn and engage now onto Vi. Zap coming out. Orianna stuck out of position. Instantly gets blown up. Beautiful hourglass to counter from Vi onto Jinx as Jinx is going to be auto-attacking, trying to save her life. Is going to be able to get out of there by the skin of her teeth. And Jax is going to die here. As Lee Sin is also caught out of position, with Mundo going to be able to pick up a kill unless Tarek somehow ninjas it.
This is the team fight that blue team needed to get back into the game.
Absolutely.
They were facing a Baron up purple team, and they went 4-for-1 due to a really, really bad tower dive and a very beautiful Zanya's coming out of the Ari.
Like, that whole fight, I think Purple didn't need to do it. They could have just pushed mid lane, slow pushed it. They had the Baron. They could have poked. Instead, Jax just...
It's wild turtle mentality. I got bored. I wanted some action.
Absolutely, and he went in there just man mode, didn't care about anything, and he cost his team that fight.
Yeah. Blue team gonna answer back with the turret. Lucian And they're looking to push another one, but they'd probably be wise to back off because
Oh, the
Purple Team's
back
coming
ping's
back
already
quickly.
coming out. There's Tarek and Mundo that are caught out of position here. But they aren't going to be going on
Oh,
the counter initiate, the counter
20%
push.
of anti-health from one cleaver.
That magic damage. Oh, as Mondo now caught at the red buff. Jinx looking to stick to, does get the zap. Auto attacks coming out. Jax is trying to jump over the wall, doesn't have any vision as Orianna is trying to get a little piece, but Lush skin of her teeth. This ping's coming out now. Jax once again going mad mode. Orianna back pinging, knowing that, hey, we can't do anything. I'm not here. Back pings everywhere. Both teams are like, no, 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 I don't, not me, not now. I don't want to fight this.
And if you look at the ward coverage on the map, both teams putting out a little bit more cover, knowing that this is kind of the do or die sort of phase of the match. You get caught by Jax, you get caught by Mundo, your carries are gonna die, and it's gonna cost you possibly an inhibitor even.
Now, one thing to look at is you see Purple Team, they have two GAs. They have a GA on Jinx and they have a GA on Jax.
That is
So,
not
who do you focus? Do you focus the AD carry to pop the GA to then try to kill her again? Do you focus the Jax that's doing so much AoE damage that's melting your backline?
Once Orianna finishes out Zanya's, and Orianna's 4 item right now. She's pretty much 5 item if you count the gold investment in.
Oh, but Vi getting caught out there does get the counter stun. Lee Sin engaging onto it as the ultimate coming out from Jinx. They are going to be putting so much damage onto this Mundo. Mundo not caring, going in. His team backing out. Jax is in the back line. Mundo's going to get melted down. Shut down as Vi does get the initiation onto... oh, but the command dissonance coming out from Orianna says, no, Vi. No, no, no. Not to my house. You're coming with me. This purple team is going to take down this mid turret. That was a beautiful fight. Jax went all the way around, caught him in the back line, put down so much damage, caused disruption.
To disengage as well, with the charm landing on.
Oh, and
not gonna be enough.
Ari tried to make that happen. He's Ori and Ari. Difficult.
Purple team is pulling ahead ever so slightly.
Now Blue's making pings onto Baron. They don't know the timer. They never got it cleared, so I think they're trying to tell Tarek to go ward it, and if this Lee Sin can catch on to Tarek here, both are incredibly low. Lee Sin says, forget it, blue buff's not worth it, I'm out.
I don't know about you, but this Lucian's went from a really dominant laning phase into he's kind of falling off.
Absolutely, but you gotta look at the enemy team. His ultimate is designed to hit as many people as it can, to do as much as it can, and he's ulting a Jax, who's just tanky as anything, heals up like...
The Jax does not even care. He's like, you know what? You ult me. I will make sure you get it.
Yeah, I'll make sure you die by the time that ult is done.
Not to mention Jinx with her massive range. Jinx definitely gonna have all of her skills maxed in just a couple of seconds when she hits level 18. But actually, probably a minute. But she has more range than Caitlyn. 700 range with her Q on the rocket launcher and does AoE damage.
Oh, but back ping's coming out for Jax. Jax is trying to back in the bush. Are they going to be able to get to him? Blue team's trying to rotate down as Jax... Oh, he does make that commitment onto the turret.
Greedy Jax.
He's going to lose his GA for this, possibly. The exhaust coming out now. Jax is still trying to get on the turret, and he does get the turret. Everything coming out now. He doesn't have flash. GA does pop, and this is going to be a dead Jax here. Everyone getting a piece. Ping's coming down now from Purple, though, onto the Dragon, as Blue making pings to try and counter push into the mid. We see Purple is picking up the Dragon, as Blue team's trying to rotate, but by the time they get there, it's going to be too little, too late. Ward coming out. Mundo does see that it is gone. As Blue trying to just counter push this slash fight. Tarek coming over from the side. Oh, but Orianna is going to be caught out. She is going to be forced to flash away. Good job. And there's the Lucian ult. Not hitting all of it, but doing a little bit of damage as Mundo does get flashed, but gets stunned instantly, and it's going to be forced to get out of there. Ignite gets burned from Orianna instantly. Mundo so ballsy as they continue to push on. Lucian putting so much damage onto this Annie. This blue team.
Annie just picked up a Void Staff. This is going to be...
Oh, but here we go. They're trying to get some poke damage in.
Both teams
Mundo is
kind of
tanking the
scared.
turrets though. Tarek getting the stun down onto Annie. Don't know what they want to do. Mundo's caught out of position. They do drop the turret as Jax gets the initiation on. Going to be stunning up the Tarek and to the Orianna. Annie with the Zhonya's Hourglass, but the command is, and it's catching all four of blue team as they do get absolutely melted. Ari's the last one alive. Q is missing. Zap does hit, and that is going to be the end of Ari. She does pick up at least one kill on the Lee Sin, but that is four members of purple team going to be charging down mid. They do have 30 seconds until Mundo comes up. They should be able to pick up double turrets, if not game.
That is the combo that I was talking about. You have a Jax jumping in with the ball, tanky from his ulti, tanky from the ball, and just wiping out everyone. That was a beautiful Orianna ult. And with Tibbers to tank up the turrets, it's going to be a very... Oh no, not the thump sound.
It's over. That's the ending noise. You can see Jax is tanking it up. That is going to be a good game.
From both sides.
And purple team just had the team fight there at the end, and that's all it takes with these late games is one team fight, whole game changed in an instant.
Exactly.
I mean,
Tarek not able to do all that much. He's tanky, but if your team can't stay alive, then they just ignore you after your initial stun. And he's doing a lot more than Tarek. And unfortunately, with Lucian's positioning in the two deciding team fights in the mid game, where he's trapped behind a wall, you know, kind of like a kid looking into a candy store, going, "I wish I had the money, but I can't. I can't afford any of this."
I wish I was over there.
He's just window team fight shopping.
That's terrible. As an ADC, you never want to be window team fight shopping. Please, don't be that guy.
Be window team fighting. Don't be that guy. We hate ADCs that can't position. I mean, it's better to be in the team fight and caught than not in the team fight. Period.
Well, in the team fight and caught, not caught before the team fight. We got to make sure that we're good here.
Caught in the middle of the team fight.
That's okay. You're right. But I think Tarek is really strong in lane. But once he leaves lane, he's got one stun. He's got an attack damage buff for his team. But if he shatters, he loses the 40 armor that he gives to his team. And that's what 90% of Tareks do. They shatter, and then it's over.
1K gold ahead of the Jinx in the early game. Couldn't really translate that into a team fight victory. That's half of a Last Whisper ahead. But you know, when you're not in the fight, I mean, I feel like I'm terrorizing this Lucian. He played phenomenally in laning phase, but when it mattered in a 5v5, and his tank and their tank kind of just went to town on each other's backline, he was not in the backline to burst down that Jax, which is how Jax kind of got snowballed.
And that's the one thing where purple team realized all they have to do is bring it to late game. Like, they have Orianna, which does ridiculous amounts of burst. They have Jax, who's the unkillable late game carry. And, I mean, Jinx, who's never going to get touched. You throw in the whole front line, and, it's a mess.
We were calling it, like, they had to win early game. And Lucian definitely won his lane early game, and so did Dr. Mundo. But it got to mid game. Transitions were bad. Actually, every single lane on blue team won. I mean, Vi was doing a lot of work, picking up tons of double kills. Lucian, Tarek, definitely terrorizing the bot lane. Mid lane, Ari got a kill on Orianna. Level 6.
Absolutely.
With the Flash Ignite, and Mundo taking it down on Jax, forcing Jax to roam. So, you know, what kind of situation are you in where you have 3 losing lanes, at least in the early game, but you come out with a victory because of cohesion, coordination, and team comp?
And biggest thing is morale. You have to just stay positive. Like, yeah, we're losing early, but that's okay. Jax left top lane. He made things happen. And I feel if purple team, or blue team, sorry, utilized the assassin that they have off Ahri, the advantage that they had, if Ahri pulled bottom, they could have pushed down 2 turrets, they could have, you know, rotated mid, they could have taken top. Like, they could have had a lot more pressure with the early game advantage that they had, but they didn't utilize it. They had it like, sweet, we're winning, awesome, we can't lose this.
If you didn't notice, there was no coordinated team fight. It was kind of like like 2 separate 4v1s. Jax into the backline, and also Mundo into the backline. But when it comes down to it, the Jax is going to survive a little bit longer than the Mundo.
And Jax is going to do way more damage than the Mundo.
If the Jax is smart about it with his Counter-Strike, he's literally invulnerable and he dodges out all of the CC. I mean, or like, Ari's not going to burn her load on her cooldowns actually on Jax. And I don't think Vi is unless he's super caught out of position, but there's just too much diving and not enough peeling. So the structure of the team fight disintegrated. And if it disintegrates, Oriana and Jax are very strong. And Annie, they just punish you.
And,
If there's no structure in protecting your carries, one stun off of anyone, one Oriana WQ, there's evaporation. There's just evaporation across the board.
And I feel just team comp wise, you look at blue compared to purple. Blue has this like this assassin dive into the back line, and no way to protect the Lucian who is fed whatsoever. So it didn't matter how big he's going to get, he still can't burn through Jax when Jax has 3 seconds of a counter strike. And
Exactly.
and purple team just they knew all they had to do was team fight. One Jax stun, one Oriana shockwave, one Annie stun, and the whole team fight could change in their favor. And it was great that they realized that and utilized it, and they came out with the victory on top.
Well, I think we should take a little break and then possibly shoutcast another match in like let's say half an hour.
Absolutely, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Call it out for this one. Thank you for having me, Zella,
Oh,
on this shoutcast. It was definitely a lot of fun.
yeah, not a problem, and I will see you in a bit.
All right.